Good evening, everyone. Everyone at the dais, Dr. Shetty, Dr. Anjali, and SistersLivingWorks, thank you for inviting me today. I have a small PPT also for you all. I'm not going to just speak more on experiences, but I will need some support. That's the way I am. And yeah, why are we talking about suicide today so much? My topic was going to be on youth suicide and counseling and why it is important. When we look at youth, and today I'm happy that I'm seeing a lot of youth today. Most of the suicides, you can see here, the Lancet Commission that has taken place has been in the age of 10 to 14, which is very less, yet it's high. Again, 15 to 19, you can see the rates is 23,748. Can you see the age group of the age of 20 to 24? It's 35,618. So let's remove the myths and misconceptions that as the child grows older, he's able to cope up more. So here I'm going to look out at everyone and say that even though you feel you are in the college or even at the postgraduate, we need to be aware of our colleagues. We need to be aware of our friends who talk about suicide. Now, we've already heard a lot about suicide, so I may not repeat everything. But this is one cartoon which I often see is that, are you aware of the stress that you are going through? Are you aware of the anxiety that begins with? That leads to depression. How is depression formed? Yeah, some could be hereditary, some could be grief, some could be events that takes place, and some could be their anxiety. So often we look at this cartoon and we feel everything is right, you know, everything is fine, but actually it's not. So we need someone to share with. So often we go and share it with some family members or, you know, friends who would have good intentions, but they would say, there's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to go to counseling. There's nothing wrong with you. It's only meant for people who are you mad? That's the first thing they say, right? So we could also go for some experiential religious belief systems and fixes and quick fixes, which would be helpful maybe, but they would be temporarily helpful. What we need is something to help us lifetime, because we are going to face challenges lifetime. What is this life made up of? Life is made up of these three things. One is cognition, the way we think about the environment. So one is the environment, the other is the cognition. The third one is the biological health, because somewhere it's going to affect our health. So what is this health that we are talking about? It could be anything like Dr. Anjali spoke about. That's about your health, your diabetes, your BP, as well as your hormones. Hormones could be hypothyroid, diabetes, and also your psychometric hormones, that's dopamine or serotonin, where we need psychiatric help also. Now, if one of this is damaged, the others are going to get influenced very easily. So we need to take care of all these three. Now, we as counselors come from the cognition part. So we check whether you are fine. We check your health. We check your vitamins or deficiencies, and when you need, if you need psychiatric help also. So we take care of all these, and then counseling is also an integral part of you getting well. So counseling as well as your health will 100% change your environment. Why counseling? It helps, again, as I said, we identify things which are helpful. We go into the right core deep thoughts due to these very well research-based therapies, which go right to the thoughts, your behaviors, and your deep feelings. We take an understanding of the holistic view of your situation. We apply these therapies, and mind you, these therapies have helped me a lot. They have. We are non-judgmental. We try to keep it confidential unless it involves life and death situation. And we enable you to reach your goals. We often say, you know, counseling is only for disorders. It's not disorders. It's also when you're distressed as well as you do not succeed in life. So most of the life challenges, as I've said here, okay, these are the life challenges. 20% is what we go through in life. That's the reality, which we cannot change. That's the environment that I was talking to you about. But 80% is how we perceive this environment, and that is in our hands. We have that power. And that's where I want you all to know that that's where counseling comes in. And we bring about, we see, look at the distortions, and we gradually get you to the reality and, facts of life. So let us remember that help is available, counseling is there. You have the power of choice to help yourself and your friends. So how do you identify a counselor is something else that usually it's a qualification people look at, but also you need to look at the rapport, the understanding. And I would request you that, I would prefer them to use this power, the research-based psychotherapies. Look at the experience also, it counts. And be open to a second opinion when you do not feel comfortable with a particular counselor. But see to it that you start trusting them also. The reason being, if you keep on jumping to counselors and psychiatrists every time, that means there's something really wrong with you. You need to trust them. What causes suicide? Today we are going to talk about that. Yes, in my experience of schools and colleges and students, I have had a lot of experiences with students who already have suicidal tendencies, suicidal thoughts. So again, it's an accident of the rational mind, where the emotions are the highest, and therefore it's like two glasses of, equal, maybe emotions and rational thinking. So when the emotions go very high, the rational thinking goes down. So that's the accident of the rational mind usually. No single reason can be given because it's a multiple situational thing that happens. The risk factors, of course, include mental disorders. Again, the Lancet report in 2013 said that 90% of the suicide are due to depression, schizophrenia, and bipolar. So we need to take care of this. But let's say the other factors. There could be many family history of suicides to relationship breakups, which I have seen in my experience, many. Family histories of being bullied, abused, parental pressure of performance, guilt and shame being one of the most core belief systems which we need to change. I'll just share with you some of this cycle, which we look at. Let's take a fictitious example of issues with parents. We do not have communication with parents. Then there's a breakup with the girlfriend. Then there's a failure in the exam. That worsens the situation again with the communication with the parents. Then we take up to unhealthy coping strategies of taking alcohol and substance abuse, which again led to confusion and helplessness. Again, ex-girlfriend starts dating her new boyfriend. So that's again another stressful event, which causes a lot of anger and restlessness, isolation, risk-taking behavior, driving rashly on the road, and trying to take over all these risk-taking behaviors. Then you are again not able to prepare for your exams, which are upcoming again. So now you want to run away from the situation, and you are unable to communicate. And then again, you do not have anyone to share with, and you have issues with parents. These are the typical examples of suicide patterns and thoughts. Let's take another situation where there is a past child sexual abuse with a lot of anxiety, cannot share with anyone, feeling helpless, isolation, self-pity and depression that I'm not good, affecting communication with family members, thoughts of cannot bear the situation, again angry at self and others, there is shame and guilt, lots of it. Then again thoughts of self-harm, attempts to harm oneself, and wants to end life. These are the small fictitious examples which we have said, and as counselors we are here to break this circle. We are there to break the circle. We are there to take you to reality. We identify such suicide tendencies and we immediately get the parents involved. We ask the parents, because sometimes it depends on the age of the child where I need to get the parents involved. We need to take the parental, we need them to take them to the psychiatrist, because when it reaches that time, that means there is a chemical imbalance and they need psychiatric, It's like, just like if I have a small little gaseous problem, I may just take Eno and feel fine. But if I have a proper gastritic infection, then I have to go to the doctor and take medicines. I think we need to be open for this thing also. So, yeah, and we usually at the institute level as a counselor, if I have so many students under me, I need some certificate or some kind of a medical certificate to know that this child is taken care of by the psychiatrist, so we insist the parents to give it to us. Now this is quite dicey because they do not want to share that they are under psychiatric treatment, which is fine. But as a counselor, from my viewpoint, I need some assurance that the child is taken care of. So yeah, there are constant, kind of conflicts and challenges as a counselor that even we have to go through. So the types of anxieties that usually leads to depression is like general, in the sense everything. If you're driving a car, hey, don't drive fast. If you're walking, oh, should I wear this shirt or this shirt? I think if I'm traveling by this, train, I'll have an accident. So it could be general, it could be performance, it could be social, peer pressure, it could be parents' pressure, it could be panic attacks. These are the things that we've seen in my history of college students, as well as placements. These are the number total of students that we have seen in each category. Another thing that I have observed is that the most primary issues faced by the students who come to me is basically low confidence, low esteem, and low concentration. Then comes relationships, sleep, no sleep, time management issues, lifestyle issues. Again, that comes with unhealthy coping in strategies of drinking, etc. Low grades, mood swings. These are the reasons why they come to me, for these primary reasons. Then when we find out how many of them have these issues, it's like 71% are coming from anxiety, 48% are depressed, 24% dealing with anger issues, 19% with having shame, and they are not being able to perform. They are not being able to share on the stage. Sometimes we have projects and performances where they are not able to. And then there are a lot of guilt also of the things that they've happened or that they've done in their life. So as a counselor and a therapist, what we do is we try to change and modify these extreme unhealthy emotions to healthy, moderate emotions. So instead of anger, we try, okay, it's okay to be annoyed, but not so angry. Or if you are depressed, yes, the reality or the challenge of ma'am, as you shared, is there. But you have been able to convert that depression into sadness. A little bit of sadness is bound to happen. I cannot say that you are completely happy of what happened. No. So we are going to be based with reality. And thank God for these mental health persons and the psychiatrists, doctors, Dr. Anjali Chabria and Dr. Harish Shetty and many other counselors and psychiatrists who are there to help you. So there is a myth and misconception that we have, that when we go to these doctors, they are all going to, just give us medicines and we don't get help. No, there will be help. There will surely be help. And I have seen this kind of help. So, yeah, these are the three topics which we have already discussed, that there could be some disorders or running away from situation and romantic breakups. These are the three main topics which really gets us. The four major core pattern, the thought patterns which we are going to talk about here is, this is the worst situation of my life, this catastrophizing some incidents of our life. I am not good, this world is not good, and I can't bear the situation right now. These are the main four core thoughts which leads us to suicidal tendencies and thought patterns as well as attempts. The anxiety cases that I have seen right now in my practice are like 576 cases who are having anxiety. We have seen 395 depression cases. There have been 104 suicidal tendencies and 39 suicide attempts, past attempts. And with grace of God, I can tell you none of these today have committed suicide. That none of them have committed suicide. Because of the joint team, putting in together by the psychiatric treatments and counseling and parents. Don't forget that, as well as the institution, the principals and the faculty whom we try to get involved to help this child come out. So it's a teamwork. So yes, psychiatric interventions have been less. They have reported to me less. So I have got only 85 students who are on psychiatric treatment along with counseling. And 23 of them I have suggested, but I do not know what is and where they have taken. The rest of them have been already in psychiatric treatment. So as counselors, we reach out to students in our institution is through orientation programs in the first year. We, everything about a counselor has been mentioned in the student resource books, which is there with each and every student. We have blackboards by which, we send, as a counselor, we keep on sending some or the other email and let them know that we are there. That's how they come and approach the counselors in an institution. So I want you all to get these tips in case you all are the future counselors. How many of you all are going to, how many of you all are the students of psychology here? Great. So I want you all to take these tips as to how to function more. So we have blackboards and blogs, or you can open up a blog on your institute and you keep on sending them these mails so that they keep on coming to you. And direct contacts are there, of course, our emails and our phone numbers are always there. We have to keep on having workshops and call people and talk with them. That's one of the very important things, because after workshops, you will see a lot of influx of students coming to you. Training the faculty is very important, because how much can a counselor do sitting in one place? What a faculty can do, and training the faculty is very, very important to how to identify issues and refer them to the counselor. And of course, social media, Facebook and everything, like LinkedIn, wherever you all can put up your articles is also very important. And need of the hour, as Dr. Shetty said, yes, I would also request Dr. Shetty to say that government resolution be made mandatory for every educational institute to have a counseling center, not just one counselor or two counselors, but a center having clinical psychologists, therapists, counselors, visiting and attached psychiatrists, which are very important. Because even counselors and psychologists, psychiatrists, we all need to get together as a group, and we need to look at each and every case. Sometimes even as a counselor, I may wonder, what do I do with this so-and-so case? So, there needs to be a teamwork, and I'm very helpful and I'm very thankful to Dr. Shetty, because we had Counselors Association of India and we had Adda group where we used to discuss, and we have an online group also where we discuss these cases, withholding names. So, and I would request, sir, that please insist the government to have at least one counselor for every 500 students, because one single counselor having so many students, there's a lot of stress on the counselor herself also. A last note to the parents, as the host has requested me, is to, yes, support your child, take them to the counselor whenever you want, help yourself when you feel depressed, and go and approach a counselor or a psychiatrist whenever you feel the need be. Remove your shame, as Dr. Shetty said. Be aware of the sudden changes in the sleeping patterns and the eating patterns of your children, if you have any, because those are the markers of maybe they are taking some intoxication. Be aware of the increasing dependency on the smart gadgets and substance. Remove all your myths and concepts again of visiting a counselor. Do not push the children into taking courses that do not interest them, please, please, because that really pulls them down. Communicate and share so that they also learn to share and care. Parents, I don't know, there are few, but yes, I can see them. Please support your child to seek help. Be aware of the sudden changes. Oops, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, students, there, we have many. Be aware of your feelings and your friends' feelings. Refer them. Approach counselors. Refrain from emotional and substance dependency. We all need support. Yes, breakups are good. Go ahead. But don't depend on them so much that you cannot survive without them. They are not your needs. That's why it said, no, that we fall in love. We never rise in love. So develop your emotional stamina to bear anything, and especially the changes of your life. Set and achieve realistic goals. I have students who have unrealistic goals, and when they cannot achieve them, they really break down. So have some realistic goals. Accept changes in life. Life has challenges. Believe in yourself. You have the power in you. Believe in that. As Dr. Anjali Shabria said, yes, start believing in yourself. Share your feelings and maintain good sleep and a diet, that's sleep hygiene, because I have many students who stay awake up to 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and then they feel, oh, college is so hectic. So, yeah, any questions? Later we'll take them. Thank you very much.